Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you an unboxing plus on-feet video of the brand new Diadora DDNA2 GLX 14. Now inside the box, all you get are the shoes themselves. They do not come with any extras. So give me a second to take these out of the box. And if you guys could take a second to leave a like on the video, it would be greatly appreciated. So here is a look at the new DDNA2. This is the second variation of the DDNA model from Diadora, and pretty much what's changed is just the graphics on the outside of the boot. The materials, the overall construction, the fit, the overall performance remains nearly identical to that top-end model that we saw from the original DDNA. And like I said, really all they've done here is changed up the graphics, which in my opinion look a lot better. Here's the original DDNA. I'm sure some of you guys are at least familiar with it. And honestly, the graphics, they're not bad looking, they're just not great. It's not the most aesthetically pleasing shoe, at least in my opinion. Whereas with the DDNA2, they simplified the graphics a little bit. Obviously, the Diadora branding is still in the exact same spot, which I have no problems with. But I think that this heel graphic they have here is much more modern looking and much more appealing overall. Definitely a better looking shoe, if you ask me. Leave your opinions down below in the comments. You prefer the look of the one or the two? The two, like I said, in my opinion, is much better looking, and they definitely made some improvements in the aesthetics category. Now, in terms of overall performance, this is one of those shoes that I think a lot of people don't know about, and they should know about, because not only is it a great performer, it's an absolutely fantastic value. You can pick up the original DDNA model for about $90 US right now, and keep in mind this is a top-end model from Diadora, and the quality is amazing. Whereas the DDNA2, if you prefer the look of this shoe, you can pick it up right now in two colorways for about $105. So again, a great value. It's in takedown model price range, and the quality is that of a top-end model, if not better than some top-end models in this category of soccer cleat. So this is essentially Diadora's go at a lightweight speed boot. Made from a thin synthetic upper, and they did a really good job with the DDNA. They had some slip-ups with previous models. They haven't had the best synthetics, but with this particular shoe, like I said, all of that changes. Ignore what they've done in the past, because this shoe is absolutely fantastic. This is actually one of those shoes, when I was testing the original DDNA when it came out this last summer, I was surprised at how much I liked it. I wore it. It was one of the shoes that I wore most of any other shoe last summer because it was so comfortable and it had such a great touch on the ball. As far as touch is concerned, you're going to have a one-piece synthetic upper. It's what they call Suprel Pro 3L, and it's a thin synthetic material that's still very soft. It has an internal support cage as well, as you guys can probably see a little bit on the inside. So again, it doesn't lack the features that you would expect from a top-end model from one of the bigger brands. And like I said, the quality of the synthetic is very good. It's extremely soft. It reminds me a lot of the Tasian synthetic you're going to find on the Nike Mercurial Vapor 9. Maybe a touch thicker. It has a slightly more kind of cushioned feeling about it, but at the same time I would argue that this is even a little bit softer. And another great feature of this shoe is lots and lots of people complain about the Mercurial Vapors being too narrow. Something like the DDNA has a slightly wider last than you would come to expect from most barefoot feeling soccer shoes. So if you do have slightly wider feet, this is an absolutely fantastic option. I also found that the Suprel Pro 3L synthetic does have a slight amount of stretch to it. So again, give it some break-in time and they become incredibly comfortable for a thin synthetic soccer shoe. You do have a slightly off-centered lacing system as well, as you can see, and the upper for the most part has a nice matte finish. So it feels very good against the ball. It's nice and easy to dribble. It doesn't stick to your feet or anything like that. And again, it's just a nice natural barefoot sensation that feels very high quality for a relatively low cost. It does have a slightly higher cut in the heel area, so it is a little bit more supportive, a little bit more solid feeling on feet than most lightweight cleats. And then of course it does have that one-piece outsole here, where it's actually just the outsole, and then there's a second piece for the heel counter that is very Adizero-esque, I'll definitely admit that. But for the most part, it feels a lot different. It's a much softer plastic than what you're going to find on an Adizero Sprint frame, and of course it's two pieces as opposed to one. Now the outsole itself is made from a Pebax material, so it's very flexible, and you're going to have what they call their net breathing system here in the forefoot. This is a system that is supposed to allow air to go into the shoe to cool your feet and allow hot air to come out without allowing water inside. Now I can confirm that it doesn't allow water to get inside the shoe. It is waterproof, if you will. Now as far as whether or not it actually keeps your feet cooler, that's kind of something that's a little bit tougher to say. I can't really test whether or not my feet are cooler. I can tell you that my feet weren't exceptionally hot while wearing these shoes in summer, warm weather playing conditions. But for the most part, it is a feature that I found to be a make or break option for this boot. And if kind of having really hot feet on hot summer days is an issue for you, then this may be something to consider, because it is kind of the only thing of its kind at this point in time. It's an exclusive feature to Diadora, if you will. As far as the stud pattern goes, this is the firm ground variation. You have these kind of diamond shaped bladed studs. I guess they're diamond shaped. That's what I'm going to call them anyways. You have those going along the outside, under the heel, and then some conical studs here in the forefoot. And again, this is a stud pattern that I found performed really, really well. It's not particularly minimal, so you have lots and lots of studs under your feet, making for a nice stable feel. And the conical studs are in the right spot, the bladed studs are in the right spot. You really get a nice amount of traction when pushing off in pretty much all directions. Moving on to the inside of the boot, the heel liner is a soft synthetic material. And you get a decent amount of padding considering the lightweight construction of the boot. And then as far as the insole is concerned, it is fully removable. It's got a mesh liner on top, some perforations through the forefoot. It's pretty much one thin layer of this black foam, and then you're going to have extra layers of this yellow foam that's a little bit spongier feeling under the heel as well as in the forefoot. And of course you have those kind of perforations in the sole just to allow that net breathing system to actually function, if it is actually doing anything, of course. But that's pretty much it as far as all the tech specs and what you need to know about the shoe. And move on next to a quick weigh-in so you can see how lightweight these guys are. Given that the Diadora DDNA2 is technically a speed boot, you would expect them to be very light, and that they are. So I'm going to weigh this pair for you today in real time. Keep in mind this is a brand new pair in a size 9 US. We're going to throw it on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at 6.7 ounces. So under the 7 ounce mark, very, very lightweight for any speed boot. Like I said, pretty much right on par with a lot of the top end models from the big brands. Not quite as light as a pair of Adizeros, but at the same time, this feels a little bit more substantial on feet than something like a pair of Adizeros. So for the most part, if you want something that's going to be comfortable, provide a high quality barefoot feel, be nice and lightweight on your feet, and of course is suitable for wider foot types, this is really the best option on the market if you are on a bit of a budget. Alright, here's a look at the DDNA2s on feet, and not only do they feel great, I think that these new graphics really look good too. So no longer can you say, I really like the idea of the shoe, but I don't like how they look. That's really not a valid excuse anymore, because again, these new graphics and the new colorways they have available right now, to me, look absolutely incredible. Now, in terms of overall fit, like I mentioned, this is a wider than average thin synthetic soccer shoe. So if you wanted something that has the feel of a Nike Mercurial Vapor 9 that's going to be suited for wide foot types, this is definitely the way to go. The quality of the synthetic is there, it's soft and flexible on feet, and it has a wider base in the midfoot, forefoot, and toe box while still maintaining a nice high quality feel. Something that I really didn't even think was possible until I tried this particular shoe. So again, if you have wide feet and are looking for something with more of a lightweight barefoot feel, this is definitely the way to go. In terms of sizing, I'm wearing my usual size 9 US here, and the fit and the length is more or less perfect, maybe a touch long, but for the most part I would say that these fit true to size, unless you have particularly narrow feet, in which case you may want to go a half size down. But for the most part, if you're looking to order these, I would personally recommend staying true to size. Alright guys, that's it for my unboxing of the Diadora DDNA2 GLX 14. Like I mentioned, there has really been no major changes from the original DDNA in terms of performance. What has changed though are the graphics, which like I said, look a lot better. But again, this is a great shoe overall. If you're looking for something like the Nike Mercurial Vapor 9 in terms of feel, maybe even like an F50 Adizero, something that's going to have a nice barefoot, lightweight sensation on your feet, but for pretty much half the price, considering you can pick these up for about $105 US. It's an absolutely fantastic value and a great performer overall. And should you give this boot a chance, trust me, you will absolutely love it, because it's very, very comfortable and has all the performance features that you would expect from a $200 plus pair of soccer cleats. So again, if you're interested in picking up a pair of these for yourself, there will be a buy it now link in the description of this video. As far as the full review goes, guys, if you want to check out the review for the original DDNA, that is up right now. It'll give you a really good idea as to how these shoes perform overall. I will be working on a new review for the DDNA2, but for the most part it will be, like I said, very, very similar to the original model. Now, in terms of comments or any questions you guys have, leave those comments down below. I definitely will answer all of your questions, and I do have access to the alternate colorway of this shoe. If you're interested in seeing that, I can make a video of it if you guys want to see it. So if that is something that interests you, again, leave a comment down below, let me know. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to support it with a like, subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all of my social media information down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.